halfway there, and as it crests and rolls down towards the hole.
Just want to cozy it up. Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
JJ, nobody knows me. Spawny here with a 64 plus footer. I mean, this thing has no chance. He's got 2 massive mountain ranges that he's got to navigate up and down. It's raining buckets. It's pitch dark. People can't even see with their freaking phones on. And this guy's supposed to hit a 64 plus footer from 18 miles away. It's so dark in the rain sideways, he can barely even see it. He hits it. It's going up, down, up, down. It's got a chance. Are you kidding me? Oh, my, Spotty! And we welcome you into the Boyle Theater. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle. See, I told you that was terrible.
That was
but that's
great.
But that's
that
kind
was
of
actually great.
Wouldn't that be fun if that's the call you could hear on golf?
That's what it should have been.
Yes.
Over the river and through the woods, and
exactly.
yes,
Did you
to
see
grandmother's house we go. There was a river, and it was pouring down rain. And who the hell is JJ Spawn?
I don't know.
Never heard of him.
He made like $1.50 for 10 years.
And you know what he made Sunday?
Oh, he made 4.3.
4.3. Yeah.
And he was second in the players. He's gotten $10 million over in winnings.
Second in the players?
Yeah, he went to the playoffs with Rory McIlroy.
When?
In the players this year.
Earlier this year?
Yeah, he's in the playoffs. He lost in the playoffs.
Because he'd only won like 2 tournaments ever in his whole career.
He almost get kicked out of the Canadian League or something.
For what? Like
because he sucked.
Yeah. And his wife didn't seem like she was that excited. Did you notice that? She kind of was
trying to. Well, again, I feel for all these wives. Like, okay, I've been here all week. I'm dealing
always
with,
do. You're always the
but I'm dealing with
gentler.
2 small kids. I mean, they're bored as shit. They don't get it.
Well,
Did you see the cute clip? Went later. He's doing interviews and whatever, and his one daughter's like, "Daddy, we gotta go. It's bedtime."
Oh yeah, and he's like, "Well, we get to stay up late tonight." Yeah, I did see that.
Welcome into the Boyle Theater, which we barely didn't make, almost didn't make.
Jesus, that's a whole nother story.
Well, do you want to hear the audio from that story?
Oh yeah, you got some audio.
Yeah.
Right?
So do you want to set up the story?
Well, I don't even know where to start, but you come over with the Barbie mobile, which I don't even like having parked in my driveway, to be honest with you. It's about as girly as you can get.
He pulled a car out just so he could put it in the garage and close the garage so neighbors wouldn't see.
That's actually not far off the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a baby blue Volkswagen Bug, which I call the Barbie mobile, and then your wife takes your car, leaves you the Barbie mobile with not a drop of gas in it.
Not a drop.
It's on. It's got the light on. It's like it's past the empty mark.
Yep.
Yeah, and then of course you forget one of your parts to be able to do this podcast. So we got to go back to your house. And then you're like, well, I can't drive. I don't have any gas. You don't even have enough gas to get home from my house in the Barbie mobile.
I had to go to the Out of Everything Safeway, and that's what led us to this moment. All right, we're in the Barbie car, and
the Barbie mobile.
And Tim is driving because
I'm in disguise. I don't want anybody to see me.
Should we put the tinted windows up?
Oh, you have such a thing?
So we're in it because we went to go record and I forgot a cord, and then the Barbie car has no gas. So we had to go to Out of Everything Safeway to get gas. Now he wanted to drive the Barbie. Well, did you really want to drive it?
Not really. You said.
Well, I said it's a great little car.
Yeah, you were talking me into it. I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
So now we're driving home. This is 2 pods in a row where we've had issues.
It is.
And it's all my fault.
Both times you've had to go back and get some part.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Well, it's not my fault.
Okay, that's enough.
That's enough of that.
Did you hear that? You were really shifting down.
Oh,
you were really.
I was on it.
You're on the Autobahn, yeah.
I was on it. That thing's got like 75 horsepower.
It does. Easy now.
I asked you, I'm like, is this a 3-cylinder? And you go, yeah, I think so.
No, I didn't. I said I had no idea. I don't even know what cylinders do.
That's hilarious.
I wouldn't know the difference between 3, 10, 5. I have no idea what cylinders are.
I got to ask the question, though. Why is the thing completely empty on like fumes? Why do people drive around like that?
Oh, people?
Oh,
People who need
That
people.
would be
That's because
typically wives.
I told you I'm the fleet manager.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Apparently, I am.
I'm
too.
only told when I get into a car and it has no gas
Yeah. Well, you know why she took your car, right?
because it had gas.
You just filled it up.
I just filled it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, welcome to the Boyle Theater. That's a little behind the curtains. What's going on here? It has been a minute.
It has.
Since the NFL draft. First of all, the loyal 28. I think we're down to 28.
Oh,
we're so
awesome.
bad. That NFL draft show. Oof, it was a rough.
We got to like rethink that one.
Yeah, we got to
It's
redo
too
that.
awkward.
I know. I agree. Existential threats. Do you have any?
I do actually.
Okay, what
you're
are
gonna
they?
get a kick out of this.
Am
one.
I?
I'm probably gonna get in trouble for it, but you're
Oh
gonna
well,
get a kick out of it.
that's
So this,
you know
is
why not? Why not just add to the pile?
Yeah, there's a big pile right now. Literally. Okay, so this is kind of an extension of one of the other ones, but bear with me. I'm gonna land the plane here.
Oh God. Why do
So-
you set those stories up like that?
Well, because I just need you to just bear with me.
Okay.
So we're going. As you know, Samantha's getting married, right?
I did. Congratulations. I
thank you
told her
very
Mazel
much.
Tov to her.
Yes.
I said congratulations on all things.
And it's going to be in Italy, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Can't be here.
No, of course not. So
Why don't they just elope?
that's actually
So make-
that's a good question.
I'm encouraging my daughters, if that day ever comes, to just elope.
And what's funny because Samantha wants a really small wedding, and it's kind of like morphing to be something. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's in Italy. I might be able to go to that."
She's thinking, no one will come. It'll be
Yeah.
it'll be close.
No, it's funny
tight-knit.
because it seems like more people want to come now than if it was down at Stalker Farms or whatever.
Why not in the Boyle Theater? It's perfect in here. This is
yeah.
beautiful.
Well, we are getting a deck put on, and we could
That
have
is
done it
true.
right out in the
That's right.
backyard. That might be where we have the reception, the
What, like
post reception.
6 months later?
Something like that.
She's
but
going to be doctoring.
that's true.
She doesn't have time for this.
Well, apparently there's time somewhere.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
is
anyway-
essential threat.
We had to go wedding dress shopping.
You did already?
Oh yeah, you got to get all this stuff done like a year.
But
in
wait,
advance.
oh really? Because is there a date or something, or there's kind of a
it's
range?
it's going to be next summer, sometime
Sometime
probably
next summer.
July of next year.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well, I
you
want
gotta
to make
start-
sure that I
you
get
gotta
my
like start
tickets.
getting on the venues, and you may be uninvited. You know how you uninvite me to everything? You might be uninvited. I don't think I invited you yet anyway, so it's okay. But
That's fair.
anyway.
It's hurtful but fair.
thank you. So, wedding dress shop. I didn't go like the first 7 times they went.
Did you ever watch Say Yes to the Dress?
No,
Oh,
hell no.
great show.
So we go down to Snohomish, and just so you know, wedding dresses are very expensive.
Oh, ridiculous.
They can start from, luckily Samantha wants a real simple one, so it's not too crazy, but they start, $1,500 to $5,000 or something. I mean, they're
You
they get-
obviously did not watch Say Yes to the Dress.
No.
'Cause they can get up to 20 grand.
okay, yeah, they get really expensive. So we go, and they got a fitter and all that stuff, and you got to do your alterations. So we get the bill, and we got to pay half.
You gotta pay half down?
You got to pay half.
Wait,
down.
so she's picked the dress?
Oh yeah, she's already picked it.
This is big.
Oh yeah,
This
she's
is
picked
big.
it.
This is huge.
Thank you. She's picked it. They're done the alterations already, and
Jesus.
they get so it comes. We got to put half down. We get the bill and everything. It's not too outrageous and stuff. And then the gal gives us the iPad. Oh, it's gonna just ask you a couple questions. They want you to tip on the freaking wedding dress. And
No
it's like,
way. No
I'm dead
way.
serious.
No
Dude.
way.
Catholic word of honor. They want you to tip, and I'm like, what? The way they charge for these dresses, they want to tip.
You notice there's
And
no,
then of course
there's no,
Nurse Mindy goes and gives them like 15%
oh
on
my
top
God,
of it.
on what?
Exactly. That's why they charge $5,000
This is
for a
new.
dress.
They didn't used to do that.
I know, but everybody wants a tip for everything now. See, that's why I said this is an extension of another existential threat. The last place you would think you would need to tip is on a wedding dress.
Unbelievable.
And then
by the way, how come there's no Jewish word of honor?
You'd have to take that up with the tribe.
But
Okay, so here
unbelievable. You have to tip on the
on a wedding dress.
Oh my God.
And
Is
it's
there
like,
not
okay,
enough margin in there?
Well, no, I think what it is like okay, and the gal should be getting commission. And Mindy tried
Yeah.
to justify, well, she had to do a lot of work, and it's like that's why they charge the prices they charge.
I blame the iPad. I blame the iPad.
Yeah, they always bring out the iPad. It's just, it's just gonna ask you one question. And then I'm like, when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, that means she's asking for a tip.
Unbelievable.
On a wedding dress. And it's at a boutique place where they're charging an arm and a leg.
Unbelievable. Yeah, tipping has gone out of control. Why didn't you buy the dress in Italy?
Well, I don't think there's time. You can't get there like, oh yeah, I need this by tomorrow.
You need a special trip just to go wedding shopping.
Well, there are people that do special trips just to go check out the venue.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
got all that
happening.
planned?
No.
Come on.
No.
You're bougie boils.
So what do you am I not?
No,
It's out of control.
You know what? I go again, the beloved Taco Time, the employer of my youngest feminine child, Annabelle. She's getting on 3 years. They're doing all this stuff. But we order on the app. I know you're opposed to apps. You want to go sit in the dining room, which is fine. We appreciate you. But I go down there and it says, do you want a tip? I'm like, no, I'm literally walking in. I'm grabbing my meal and leaving. No tip for you.
Tip for what?
There's
you
no
ordered
tip.
it on an app.
There's no tip. There's no reason to tip.
It's Taco Time, for God's sake. Why do you tip at fast food restaurants?
You shouldn't.
They shouldn't be asking, though.
I know, but everybody asks because people do
it. Yes.
People do it. I mean, if I go to the car wash, but by the way, have you been to the new Rose Hill car wash?
Oh, is it done now?
It's done.
No. Last time I went, it was you could only get vacuuming.
No, the word is it's nice. It's
good. You haven't been yet.
No, the kids have been. The daughters have been.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go there and check it out.
We got to do it. But again, that's you. The guy scrubbing the guy finishes it off, or the people.
Yeah.
You give them a schmear.
Absolutely, because they're out there scrubbing your tires and stuff. Yes, they're providing a service.
Now, see, if the wedding thing, and I really like the lady and whatever, and I go over, I forget, I get a little cash, I get a little schmear. I give him a little schmear. I might give him a 10, a little 20 spot. Just but
this is
nice.
Starts at like 15% on like
ludicrous.
I know.
That is absolutely ludicrous.
Tell that to Mindy when we're done here.
No.
You're gonna see Mindy go, hey, good job on that tip.
Great job. I can't believe you only tipped 15.
Yeah. See, Tim, we should have done 20.
That is cold-blooded.
Oh.
That's way better than my existential threat.
What's yours?
Flight delays.
Oh, trust me. Don't even get me started there.
I
I have not been on an Alaska, and I fly Alaska all the time. So if you're an employee of Alaska that's listening to this, I'm still loyal to you.
Yeah, really.
But I have not been on a flight in probably 30 flights where I haven't been delayed. I'm delayed every single flight.
Well, the funniest thing is since we've been gone, you know who, and I'm sitting there going to my phenomenal, the 29th year of the golf trip. Shout out, guys, because most of our listeners are them. And I'm sitting there and I got a delay and I'm texting you.
Oh, I nailed it.
And then the dreaded word comes out of the PA that you just, if you hear this word, you just never want to hear this one word. Yeah. We have a mechanical. Mechanical is bad. So again, I go, oh, we got a mechanical. And you're like, 2 hours. You just text me
instantly, 2 hours.
And you know what? You were freaking spot on.
It's always 2 hours.
Nailed it.
And they start by going like 15 minutes and they'll put it out another 20 and they'll nickel and dime you for 2+ hours.
They keep you hanging on.
They do. That's the part that drives me nuts. In fact, on our Hawaii coming home, we just got back from Hawaii. Thank you for asking how my trip was.
Humble brag.
Appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
I was about to go to Melakalikimaka. Haole Makahikiko.
But on the way home, we get a text right away. Oh, it's like a 20-minute delay. And I'm like, and then it says maintenance. Mechanical. I'm like, this is not going to be 20 minutes. I guarantee.
Okay, but you're in freaking paradise.
See, well, I know, but you kind of want to get home because weren't scheduled to get home till 9 o'clock at night anyway.
Bad. You got home like 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah, that's a long.
Ended up being like a 6-hour delay because they nickel and dime you. And then the plane finally gets to Hawaii. and we board and everything, and then we're on the plane. Oh, we got a quick maintenance issue we got to deal with. It's just going to be a few minutes. And the damn pilot does that for like an hour.
Of
plus.
course.
That's the worst part is it's just going to be a few minutes. That's a
No.
lie.
And the second, when you never want to hear mechanical because you're absolutely right. Okay. The second word after that, you don't ever want to hear. Once you're in the mechanical melee, they're nickel and they're right. They're teasing you. They're blue balling you to death
Completely.
And then you don't want to hear, well, we got to call into operations. That's the same thing that happened to me. We're on the plane. We're all ready to go. Well, we got to call operations because we can't get out of the gate. We need the little pusher outer.
Yeah. And then it'll be, well, now we just got to sign off on the paperwork. So it'll just be a few more minutes.
We're just waiting for the paperwork.
Oh, Alaska, you kill me these days.
Anyway.
All right.
Well,
we've put these.
That was
people through
15 minutes. It's time for a
break.
break.
We got to get some vittles after
I'm
that.
shook about the tipping on the wedding dress. I need to tell everybody about that.
Well, doesn't everybody listen to the pod?
Nobody listens that I know. I got to ask my family about this. This is new information.
See, I was shocked.
I am absolutely shocked.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this.
Of course you
Nurse
are.
Mindy doesn't miss a beat. And she's like, oh, 15%. There you go. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, thanks a lot.
I got to redo the budget. All right, we'll be back.
Let's not talk about budgets.
No, budgets are not a good topic. That's not on your list. I don't know why your list doesn't have budgets. We'll be back and actually talk sports right after this.
If you weren't listening the last time these guys got together, you gotta be kidding me.
All right, we're back here. And what's first on your list?
Well, first on my list is WNBA. Probably the biggest story the whole
You don't want to start U.S. Open?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay. Well, Tuesday night, your Indiana Fever.
And we were all, between the three of us that do this pod, me, you, and Mark, you were only and you're like the WNBA champion, always like telling us we need to watch. You're the only one not watching.
No, I did watch Tuesday night.
You watched a little bit.
Tuesday,
you had
to
go and do some
Sunday
cleaning.
night. I was off a little bit, but I saw I saw it live. I saw the fight live.
Okay, because you had to leave. You broke away for a while and had to go like do some yard work.
I did. So Mark Hyland is not on the program tonight. Producer Mark, we were 17 minutes in and we haven't mentioned that.
That's why we're late. Mark, and we're started.
We tried.
He's
late. Traveling. I said, hey, you can chime in from Cleveland or wherever the hell you are.
It's like 2 a.m. in Cleveland.
But he dissed us.
He did.
He doesn't sleep. Don't worry. He doesn't sleep.
Oh, okay.
So shout out producer Mark. Oh, I already opened my beer. I was going to give you a little can opener there. Okay, so the big stories. First of all, Caitlin Clark's out for 2 weeks. Ratings collapse.
Oh, the WNBA went to crap.
55%. Ticket
on the
sales,
whole WNBA, not just the Fever. The entire league.
Ticket sales dropped.
People were getting tickets to the Indiana game for $3. That's pathetic.
And then she comes back on her debut, basically her rebranding, I guess.
Yes.
Was that Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, I think.
Yeah, I think it was U.S. Open too.
Yeah.
So Sunday, and bam, it gets a massive rating. 2.2
even with
million.
the U.S. Open going.
Yes, 2.9 million at the peak. Unbelievable. She goes off for 32 points. She hits 4 or 3 triples in like 30 seconds.
Yes. Yeah.
Insane.
She hit like 7 threes on the night. She just went off.
And that leads us to the big story shout out her in the WNBA. They're getting all kinds of pub because they're on every show.
Yes, everything. This Wednesday morning, this whole thing dominated the news cycle.
100%. Tuesday night.
If you weren't watching this game Tuesday night, you missed it.
And you might not be because it was on NBA TV.
Yeah, there's only 11 people that get that channel.
I haven't checked the ratings. I bet they sucked for that.
I bet they were great for everybody that had the channel, though.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, the Fever are kind of blowing them out.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not when all the stuff started.
No, in the first half. See,
Yeah.
what I missed is a little chippy because her and JC Sheldon, who played again, I remember her.
I
know her from
remember vividly.
Ohio
She played for
State.
Ohio State.
Yeah, and they went at it, and
They've gone at it. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but yeah.
So they're chippy in the first half.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think there was already a flagrant on Caitlin in the first half.
Was there really?
Yeah, there was either a technical or they were getting chippy, and Sheldon was kind of getting real chippy with her, and
she's tough.
no,
I remember at
fine.
Ohio State.
She's tough. Yeah, she tries to guard her really tight.
Yeah, but I mean, she's just
It backfires on her, but she's
gotten smoked. She's never beat her.
Well, she's 0-12 against Caitlin Clark, going back to the Big Ten in Ohio State.
Going back to high school.
Yeah, 0-12.
Going
Caitlin's
back
just dominated her.
Going back to 7th grade. So then the third quarter starts, and I'm watching, and things are going great, and then all of a sudden, Caitlin's basically trying to back her down from the kind of the top of the key.
No, Caitlin had the ball.
Yeah, Caitlin had the ball.
Yep.
They're coming down, had a decent lead, and then here I'm just going to
Let's
play a little
play it, yeah.
audio if it plays.
Clearly, that's a foul.
And it's contact to the face as well. It'd be interesting to know if they're going to look at that first one for a flagrant foul. There was an impact, or there wasn't wind up or follow through, but there was a direct hit to the eye of Clark, and then just a totally unnecessary body bump.
Marina Mabry, who is a journeyman, she's played for all these teams. She's been all over. I actually know of her because she has played in a lot of teams.
And she quits every team complains and then quits.
And she's a good player. Okay,
she's an okay player.
She's a fine player, whatever. She's been in the league a long time. She checks.
Well, let's back up a little bit. First of all, the Sheldon is guarding Caitlin real tight, and she's kind of fouling her over and over. And then she pokes her in the eye. And then not only does she poke her in the eye, Caitlin's like, what the, like trying to figure out what you just poked me in the eye. The ball goes flying. And then Sheldon goes and bumps her after she does all this.
They're doing kind of basically you drive down, you step in, and she gets kind of a bump, a bump. Yeah.
And then it goes right to the eye poke, and that Caitlin loses the ball, and then all of a sudden she bumps Caitlin Clark too, like shoves her, and then Mabry comes and just flattens her.
Absolutely flattens
and
her.
The announcers are like, "Oh, she's kicked out for sure."
100%.
They're like, "There's no way that she doesn't get a flag."
It's not a basketball play.
No, it's for sure. I mean, at the very least, it's a flagrant one, but it's a flagrant 2 is what it really is.
It is, and she should be out of the ball game. No questions asked.
And they should have ejected Sheldon at that point too.
I mean, that's okay. I'd be fine with that because she's instigating.
She ended
up
getting a flagrant. She got a flagrant.
She did, but now they're going at it, and they're chippy as shit, and they're high competitive, right? So, that's fine. That's all within the realm of basketball.
Yeah.
But I have the Mabry issue.
That's completely out of left field.
Completely.
First of all, Caitlin Clark's not doing anything.
She's standing there trying to basically
getting her eye poked.
Yes.
And then Mabry comes and flattens her.
Now, also, we have to understand that the refs are
they've already let this go way too far.
And they're like 18 years old.
Yeah.
This is the youngest reffing crew in the world. I texted Avery. I'm like, no offense, but these refs look like 8-year-olds.
Yeah, they're in an all-female crew too.
Which is, I don't care about that.
Well, I know, but
they don't look
they
experienced.
lost control. Yeah,
they
an
don't
all-female crew that looks like they're 18 years old.
They're so young.
It looks like you're watching what's the Snohomish League called? SGA.
Yeah.
It looks like you're watching the rec league up here.
It did, and yes, and apparently in post-game, Stephanie White, the head coach of the Fever, said I was on them in the first quarter going, you guys got to tighten this up. I knew that I knew we were going here because they would not tighten up. I'm telling them in the first quarter, you got to tighten this up. This thing's going to get out of control.
Yeah. And she was dead on.
Dead on.
So then so then there was a couple flagrants, and I think Caitlin Clark got to go to the free throw. She made 3 free throws in a row. Then she buries one in front of Sheldon's face.
And it's a fadeaway.
Oh, it's a fadeaway. It's off balance. It's 17 feet beyond the 3-point line. And she buries it. And then she goes, how do you like that?
And she is waving to the crowd.
Oh, she's getting the crowd all riled up.
Because she's an entertainer.
She is. But the best part came with 40 seconds left in the game.
And,
And
let
did you
us
see
introduce
this?
you to Sophie Cunningham, number 8. Rare.
And now they're calling her the enforcer. So somebody's got to stick up for Caitlin Clark because they weren't doing it last year.
No.
They were letting her get beat up. Well, of all people, JC Sheldon's got to drive to the lane.
She got a fast break.
Fast break drive to the bucket, and lo and behold, Sophie Cunningham just takes her out.
Absolutely tackled her.
Yeah, tackles her.
A blatant takedown.
And that's not even the best part of this whole story. The best part of the whole story is Sheldon starts to come after Cunningham. Cunningham grabs her by the back of the neck and just manhandlers. Sorry for the bad pun, but just manhandlers or grabs her by the back of the neck, and she's yelling in her face.
And then
and
all
she's
the
telling
other
her
players,
something. You can tell she's like, "Don't ever do that." Something of the effect of, "Don't ever do that again."
Yeah.
But when she's got her by the back of the neck, she's got total control of her. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sophie's about a foot taller than
Yep.
JC
She's
Sheldon.
a lot older too.
And she's just like wheeling her around by the back of her neck, yelling in her face. That's the part I love the best about it.
And then all the players again, and it's a brawl, and then they peel them off and peel them away. And I mean, that was
Sheldon gets suspended or kicked out. So does Sophie Cunningham. And
Yep.
she probably knew she was getting kicked
yeah,
out.
but this is the point of bullshit.
yes.
Like, how could, again, was it a basketball play? It was in the realm of a basketball play. It was a flagrant true, like, not
But at
even
least she was going for the ball and stuff. And
somewhat.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
she almost tackled her
That
down.
was more of a basketball play than what Maybury did to Caitlin Clark, though.
100%. And that's even the announcers were just Rebecca Lobo, who's been in this game forever. She's just like, I don't even understand. I mean, what I don't even understand. That is clearly the Maybury. She should have been ejected.
She
then
should
you
be
see
suspended,
that, and they're
actually.
ejecting everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Unbelievable.
By the way, they did raise Maybury's foul. They post game, the WNB made that a flagrant 2, which is the highest one. It went from a technical, it surpassed the flagrant 1 and went right to flagrant 2.
We talk about this with football. We talk about this in the college football playoffs with the replay guy, right, for the Arizona State game.
Yeah.
This is back to, I mean, you and I watched it. I think it was a little behind, but they're sitting behind them. They're around the monitor for what felt like
20
minutes.
Yeah, at least 20 minutes.
How do you not get this right?
I mean, you could look at that for 10 seconds and go, okay, flagrant 2 there, flagrant 1 there. She's at the line for some free throws.
Yes.
I mean, it should have taken like 30 seconds.
And it's just, that's the other part that just adds the fuel.
Well, that's
It's
what
just-
you're pointing to. These girls look like they're 18 years old.
But
So
I
they
don't even
sat there in front of the monitor for half an hour.
Do they not have a New York? Do they not have somebody objectively outside looking at this going, there's
Where's
only
Steve Blandini or whatever his name is?
Steve Blando, or what's his
I
name?
don't know.
Mike Pereira?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
No, Mike
disagreed.
Pereira. Oh, no, the
no,
refs got it right.
Yeah,
here.
that's a good call. That's the other thing that just adds insult and puts like wounds, like fresh wound. It's just like they sit and watch the same thing we're watching for 17 minutes, and they still get it
Completely
unbelievably
wrong.
And it's
Completely
obvious.
wrong.
It's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, a 5-year-old could have figured that out.
And then the other thing is, it's just like, what are they doing to Caitlin Clark? Now God, I love her swag. I mean, she just, and then did you see her post game?
Oh, yeah. Totally saw the post game. Ask me a basketball question. Yeah.
Did you guys come to watch basketball? Because let's talk some basketball.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about anything else.
And by the way, she just owned them. What I was saying to Mindy when I was watching, when they were doing all this crap, I said, now the Fever just need to blow these people out and get them, win by like 30.
And they did.
And they actually pulled Clark and
yeah.
And
this is Stephanie White, the head coach of the Fever. This is her former team.
Yeah.
She's hugging the players after the game.
Well, after the game, they didn't do a handshake.
No, I noticed that.
And that was good. They just walked away. They pulled a Detroit Pistons.
They did. That's a great callback. So I'm telling you, and even producer Mark on the text string, we're telling him, like, there's been 2 fights. He goes,
I might start watching now.
And this is Rich Eisen had a clip about this that I could play. Dave Portnoy, whatever. Dude, if you're not, I know people, and I was on the golf trip, and people are like, WNBA, what are you watching that shit for? Blah blah. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's great. It's back to 1980s, 90s NBA.
It could have been the Detroit Pistons. And by the way, that was the best WNBA game I've watched. My favorite WNBA game
I know.
I've watched.
Tim is just loving every
the
second of
fights
it.
and just the drama.
Ugh.
And by the way, you know whose jersey is the number one selling jersey?
Sophie
right?
Cunningham,
Sophie Cunningham.
number
It's
8.
sold out everywhere. You can't buy one of those.
Even the announcer's like, I'm exhausted
Yeah,
because there's been so many delays and so many timeouts. It is, I'm telling you, the gossip and the drama is fantastic.
And they're playing tonight, right? It'll be interesting to see what the Fever's ratings are on Prime tonight.
Yeah, against
because
the Valkyrie.
Caitlin Clark's ratings have been like 2.5 million, and that's for the WNBA. That is ginormous.
It's better than
the
regular,
NBA.
Better than a regular.
Better than
season
like
NBA.
finals in the NBA.
It's better than a Major League Baseball Sunday night baseball game. Caitlin Clark is the meter. She's
the needle.
She is the needle, the meter. She's the closest thing to Tiger. All that kind of stuff.
Let's take a break. We did like 20 minutes on the WNBA.
You know what? That's not enough.
I know we could keep going
because on the debut coming back, I'll just end it with this: the Fever ended the 9-0 New York Liberty. They hadn't been.
Oh
beaten.
yeah, they hadn't been beat all year. Yeah,
hadn't been
and
beaten.
they roughed them up.
And then Caitlin drops another like 18 billion footer. It was as long as JJ Spawn's putt. Against Brianna Stewart and Stewie, they laughed. They were, she's talking shit and Stewie's loving it. It's so great. If you're not watching it, I'm telling you,
it's better than the NBA.
It's so much better.
So much better.
They
actually let them play physical basketball. Almost to the point where it's too much.
It is too much.
Yeah.
And
they call traveling.
They do. And the refs are terrible.
You and I could be reffing better.
But they make like $3 a game.
Well, you get what you pay for. They go from like Starbucks, and then right after they're shipped at Starbucks, they go to the freaking ref.
So do you even have US Open on your thing?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So
we're going to take a break first.
We're going to take a break, but I don't know when we're coming back with. We'll see when we get back. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, hello there. This is Squid Mondale, and you're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show.
All right, we're back, and we're going to talk college football.
We're leaving the WNBA.
It's hard.
What's amazing is that took like number one on our list.
Well, I can't get over tipping the wedding dress.
See, I brought a big one.
I'm sitting there going, "What am I going to have a surgery?" And the surgeon's going to turn around the iPad and go, "Hey, can I 15 or 20?"
And they're going to want like a 5-star Google review.
It's just like, is this out of control?
Nuts.
Am I going to get my car serviced? The guy's going to want to tip.
The gardener's going to want to tip.
It's unbelievable.
There's actually a clip, and I don't know if it's fake or real, but the guy goes and mows some lady's lawn, and he's having her pay for it, and he was wanting a tip.
This is completely over the line.
Yeah, it's so out of control.
Oh, God. Okay. What's also out of control is this. God, I can't believe producer Mark's not here.
I know. This would be a good one for him to be on.
This is the greatest day of this is what you guys wanted. This is what I actually wanted.
What? Oh,
the NCAA.
We can't save it. We gotta talk about it. I'd love to save it.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, reasonable, logical things are actually coming to college sports. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying it doesn't still have room for a lot of improvement. But guess what could be dead?
What?
The transfer portal could be dead.
Oh, is it? Are they going to get rid of that possibly?
Well, they've put rules in place that will
rules.
Yeah, rules, which will majorly de-incentivize. Is that a word?
Yes.
It should cut down on the old transfer portal, the TP. It should cut that down dramatically with these new rules.
So what you kind of studied up on this? There's a big lawsuit that just happened. What was the lawsuit?
So basically, in 2020, I don't want to go into it. The Arizona State kid, actually, a swimmer and a baseball player, brought this suit against the NCAA in 2020. It turned into a big anti-lawsuit. So then, actually, it cost the NCAA like $50 billion, and they negotiated a settlement. It became all of D1 college athletes, and there was a big in June. They late in June, basically a judge agreed with the settlement, and here's the settlement. So they're going to pay all the past people $2.8 billion. They got to pay all the people in the rears. It's only going to really affect the football players and a little bit of the basketball players. Sorry, you're two double D.
I know
ones.
they should get compensated.
They're going to get Bimchka.
They're not. Yeah, Bumkus.
They're going to get Bupkus. They're not going to get much.
They should.
Football's going to get about 75%. It's not a big nobody's
Football. Those guys have already been making so much money.
It's just that's the way it is. But the new setting is they basically have put a $20 million
salary cap
for all the universities.
And that covers all sports, right?
It covers all sports.
Yeah. So
and it's up to the biggest thing is the conferences, the big major conferences, the universities decide how they disperse the 20 million.
So if they wanted to be all in football, they could have it all go to football.
Yes.
Yeah. But so like, for example, WSU just announced that they're cutting almost all of their track program.
Really?
Yeah. Which is sad. They've had a really,
it's horrific.
They've had a really, really competitive, they've had national champions.
So what the big thing here, the big takeaway is now the universities will have contractual agreements with the student athletes. I'm using that. I'm using that as a joke.
With the professional athletes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're going to have contractual obligations to it. So the reason that this is such a great thing is because there's actual accountability here, kids.
There's guardrails.
There's guardrails. So if I give you, and this is all within the confines of the 20 million of the salary cap, okay?
Yes.
They get to decide who gets what. They enter a contractual agreement. This is in addition to their free education, okay? So that's still intact. But basically, if they leave said contract, there is a buyout clause. So if University of Washington goes and tries to get somebody from Washington State, okay? Who's your Zepkis? Who's the new guy?
Yeah, your Orthodox Jew.
Yeah, the Orthodox Jew. I love him. Zevis.
Zevi. Yeah.
Yeah. If they come after him, they will have to pay a huge buyout. So it's kind of like the coaches.
They'll have to pay the buyout to who though?
To Washington State.
Yes, and that was my argument like a long time ago. If you're going to steal somebody's athlete, you should have to pay them what you should have to pay the school what you're paying the athlete.
And it comes out of your 20 million.
Yeah.
So it comes out of your salary cap. Okay. The other thing is there's tight confines between this contractual agreement with name, image, and likeness, right? From the media rights that they pay these players. Okay. Then there's rules against getting out of the contract. So one is they got to buy you out if they want to transfer. There's other things that rules where accountability. You can't just transfer to the highest bidder because you'll get screwed. You'll basically let go. All your contractual money from the current school goes away. Wow. Yeah. Common freaking sense.
Wow.
So the other biggest part is the third party NIL. So this is going to dissolve what we know as the collectives at universities today that are basically boosters that just throw in money. Okay. That's all going to probably go away.
Okay. For example, Cam Ward, for example, he got stolen from WSU, goes to Miami. They pay him like $3 million. Well, they're probably not going to be able to do that now because $3 million is going to come right out of the 20. That's going to one player out of the 20. But can he get money from like Chevrolet?
Well, this is exactly what is, again, common sense guardrails. A third party NIL deal will now be audited by Deloitte. Okay. It has to be entered and submitted into this whole new system. They have a new czar for this, a commissioner that oversees all of this stuff. Okay. And Deloitte can basically, they have a system where it's fair market value or not. And what they're saying is 90% or 95% of the last 3 years, these collective deals these kids are getting would not be approved. because
That's
they're not
yeah.
fair market value.
Yeah, like Bronny James, for example, getting like $4 million in NIL
Right.
when he's getting averaging 2 points a game.
Right. So you're going to have a third party, basically auditor, look over this and go, hey, I've got the scene of all these things. And I know in that market for that kid who's playing that sport, here's the reasonable fair market value for a third party NIL deal. So you have guardrail, you have basically a baseline, right? And then it happens quickly. You submit, and within hours, they'll tell you whether you're approved or not. If you want to appeal, there's a 45-day. Like, finally, there's actually common sense that these kids can't go crazy. The coaches can't go crazy. The one thing that I listened to, Joe Pompliano has a great breakdown of all this. The only part that I don't know that has been affected, and I could look this up, is the timing. Right? They have to change the timing when these kids are eligible for the transfer portal.
Yeah, because you don't want people quitting at the end of the year before the bowl games, and they say, oh, well, they have to transfer now.
Yes. So
yeah,
the system then on football, specifically in basketball, obviously, and this is really will not really affect the D2, D3. Unfortunately, this is really a D1 major conference rule. That's where this is.
Okay, so
because those other than D1 major conference school, in fact, anybody, you don't have to participate in the $20 million. Like you can get out of it. So again, like Willamette University or D3 or these other schools, they don't have to partake in this program. They can do whatever they want.
Well, D3s can't give them any money.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's flexibility that you can choose to opt in or opt out.
Okay, but most people are going to have to opt in.
Exactly. The
Your
major
big
ones.
schools are going to have to opt in for this.
And the good thing that I like is that all the major conference, basically the SEC and the Big Ten, which is run by ESPN and Fox, they're all in this because they have skin in this game. So
Yep.
I think it's going to cut down on the transfer portal. It's going to cut down on all this crazy shit going on. These kids leaving, going places for just get a fat check. I think it's really going to calm this whole thing down.
So the question I have is, can they still? You take a Cam Ward, for example. He gets Miami takes him, and they're paying him whatever. Let's say it's $2 million. They're paying him let's say they're paying him $3 million. Can he also take money from like Chevrolet or something in addition to that?
He can, but it has to be submitted and it has to be approved through Deloitte and through the algorithm and through the process to make sure it's fair market.
There's the problem that I'm going to have there is a school can say, hey, well, we're only going to pay you $100,000, but we can get you all this NIL money.
We can, but they have to, again, it's measured, right? They can't just go, oh, we can get you all this. We can promise you this. Because now they have a third party that's going to dictate whether they can get it or not. It's either approved or not approved.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying it's perfect.
No, I know. But a third party could look at somebody like Cam Ward and say, well, you're only getting $100,000 from the school, so you're worth at least another $1 million.
They could approve. They could.
So that's where it's still going to be a problem.
But at least they're addressing like, hey, within the market value, based upon market value, all these other variables, all these inputs, your worth, your value, third party NIL is $1 million. Yeah, so to speak. So I love.
No,
this.
it's a good start. I think a better.
It's not perfect.
No, a better decision would have been the school's got to pay you, and you can't get money from outside the school, because I think that makes it unfair. But
I'm not disagreeing with you.
That would be the better plan. But you got to take baby
steps. But
also
the $20 million, right? This is additional. So this is a problem for athletic directors and for athletic budgets, because this is $20 million that they have to come up with in addition to.
It's a salary. Yeah, it's a salary cap basically. They got to come up with the money, but they got to figure out how they're going to spread it around.
And if
you're going to pay Cam Ward $3 million, well, now you got $17 million for every other athlete. And
so in theory, you should level the playing field. There's rules to it. It's going to probably go through some messy shit, but it's what you wanted.
Thank you.
Aren't
are
you
are
happy?
you willing? Are you finally willing to say that was ruining college football?
No, I'm
It
not
was-
willing to
oh,
say
how
it.
do you figure? I told you.
Because the product is still great because people love the brands. They
I know,
love
but
their
it
fans.
was it obviously was ruining because they had to come up with this huge
Well,
thing to put all these guardrails on it.
But
and-
that's the internal because it wasn't sustainable. We all knew that. I wasn't against that. I just don't agree that it's
No.
ruining college football.
what Brock Heward was even on the other day, and
Oh well, if Brock Heward says it.
yeah, he's an authority, but he was just basically saying how, when the lawsuit came out, how college sports was an absolute train wreck and needed to be
Yes.
fixed. Yeah,
But here's the other problem that's going to have to be smoothed out. A lot of these athletic departments, we hear about the Ohio States, we hear about all these other things. They're not profitable. So there's a lot of athletic departments out there that don't know how they're going to come up with another $20 million to actually figure this out. So a lot of that, because they're paying and subsidizing 27 different sports, right?
well, a booster could come in and say, okay, I'm going to give you $20 million for all your athletes.
There's rules against that because the settlement is very clear on
Where
what
the
the
money-
NCAA is, and they have a payment plan because the NCAA couldn't come up with $2.8 billion in a fat check. They have a program that they pay, I can't remember, $260 million per year and blah, 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 blah. Did I explain this properly?
Yeah, no, I think
Is it clear?
it's clear enough. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's
get
a
it.
lot of other gobbledygook, but I
Yeah.
tried to that's what the main take.
I think if you're a amateur listener, you'd still get the gist of it.
so. You always go on Ward, but go Johnny Mateer.
Yeah. No, anybody that somebody's stealing, but yeah, Johnny Mateer. What about?
Well, so he went for the money,
Of course he did.
but in this new system, Oklahoma would have to think pretty hard about that because it's going against their cap.
Right. It's going against their cap, and didn't you say they have to? WSU gets money out of
Yeah.
it too. Yeah, that's what it should have been from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You should never be able to just go steal somebody's athlete and say, "Oh, well, we're going to pay you $3 million."
No, but that's so the other thing that I have to look at is I think the transfer rules. If you do it, I think there's no timing. Like you don't have to sit out a year. I think it's all of that stays the same. So I don't know. That's that.
Okay. Very good.
Do you want to move to the NFL or do you want to go to Mariners?
Let's take a quick break
Wow. Okay.
because how long's this segment been?
That was, I don't know.
It was a long. You were talking for a long time.
Did I?
It's
I
all
really,
good, though. It was good content.
I mean, I'm a 2.5
brought-
beers in. I had to really focus
Are
on
you
that.
really 2.5 in? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm
for
ahead
you.
of you.
Well, you just went on that golf trip.
What is
that
it?
You're like a seasoned veteran now. Apparently, you said you were having more than 3 a day.
I did start at 9-10 a.m. Lighting. So it was rough and tumble. Okay, we'll be back, I guess, after this.
Guten Tag und Grüß Gott from Bavaria. This is Randy from Neunkirchen, Germany, and you're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show.
All right. Let's talk a little golf.
Maybe U.S. Open.
Man, were you watching like Thursday, Friday? Were you all in the whole tournament?
Let's see where. No, because I was in Hawaii. Did I mention that?
Painfully, yes.
Thanks for asking. By
You're
the way.
welcome. How was the trip?
It was very good. The Monkey Pod. Oh my God, I had some of the best fish and chips I've ever had. You're familiar with the Monkey Pod?
I
right?
am familiar.
Yeah, they have the best Mai Tais with the Lilikoi foam. But the Monkey Pod right on the beach down in Whalers Village. Their fresh fish of the day was swordfish, and they were doing swordfish fish and chips fresh. They were phenomenal. On a scale of 1 to 10, they were a 10. They're probably some of the top 2 or 3 I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
And I've been
That's
to
high praise,
Alaska several times. And
It's high praise.
it is. But those swordfish fish and chips, outstanding.
Mahi mahi? Kapua pua?
No, not mahi mahi. I did have Duke's had the mahi mahi fish and chips. That's
What
their standard.
what are all the fishes? I remember all the. I love all.
Well,
the
you got the
fishes names.
Dorados, which mahi mahi is like 10. I think there's like 10 different names for it.
But what? There's some other fun names.
Oh,
Like,
there's that one that's the Hawaiian. I don't know the
Kapalawana.
Yeah, but it goes
Something.
on for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
So did you learn any Hawaiian?
You know what? I did go snorkeling right outside our hotel, which is very underrated, by the way. Saw sea turtles right out there.
Honu.
We saw the Honokai.
Honus are sea turtles
okay.
in Hawaiian.
I was. we were
Let me
staying at the
teach you a
Honokai.
little. Let me teach you a little Hawaiian.
I actually, you told me that already. So, but yeah,
Kapu. Kapu. Do you know what kapu is?
it sounds like something you might do in the bathroom. I don't know.
It's stay out. It's they have big signs. Kapu, stay out.
Oh, okay.
Big X. Come on, seriously.
Well, what I didn't
How
go-
long were you there?
Not long enough to learn the
You
language.
go every 5 minutes.
Dude,
every
I
time I
knew-
talk to you, you're going to Hawaii.
I knew mahalo and aloha,
Oh
and I
my
know
God.
Kanapale, but the Kanapale Beach
Yeah.
very underrated for the snorkeling.
Yeah.
We saw something I've never seen before.
What was
A
it?
sea snake.
Ooh,
Yeah,
what's that look like?
scary. It was black and white. And
Okay,
I
so
guess it was
it's-
black, white, and yellow.
Okay,
and-
but it's a snake. What's the sea part of the snake?
What do
Does
you
it just
mean?
look like a normal snake?
well, no, their tails are a little bit different, so they slightly different. They kind of have a, I don't want to. It's not a prehensile tail like a monkey, but
Excuse me?
prehensile tail.
What the hell is that?
That's so they can their tails will wrap around a branch.
Wow.
Very, very good adaptive mutation.
You're-
You only see that in the South America. though.
Wow. We haven't talked
But anyway, sea
Zoo
snake. You don't want to
shit in
get
a
bit
while.
by a sea snake.
Why
They're
not?
highly, highly venomous.
And you saw one?
Yeah.
Did you say I'm sorry, I can't talk, I gotta go?
No, I kind of chased it around a little bit.
Why? What are you nuts?
Well, it was a baby. It was only it was actually being chased by another fish.
Oh my God.
But saw
And
sea
that's-
turtles. and-
That's National Geographic. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So where were we going with this anyway?
we were talking the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Did you watch it? No, I was in Hawaii.
Not till Sunday. We got back. At
You didn't watch
3.
any of it?
No, I was
It's like-
drinking on the beach.
Yeah, but it's
and-
3 hours earlier or whatever.
I
isn't it?
know. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
well,
already over. By the time I got up at 7 a.m, it was already over for the day. It was 6 hours, 6 hour difference.
Yeah.
So
I was all in.
yeah, I'm sure you were. But Sunday I was all in.
I was all in.
In fact, the wife and I both watched that putt live when Spawn made that putt. And by the way, you and I have been arguing back and forth. I don't really like it. Now, this course was fair, but I don't really like it when the pros are 15 over par and stuff. It's like,
Why? What are you talking about?
what do you mean? I just told you.
Why? I don't think it's 1500 power.
I mean, the course has got to be fair.
It
right?
was fair.
It
Did you
was-
hear anybody? Did you hear
No, this
anybody
time-
bitch about it?
This time I didn't because it was very, very difficult, but fair. There's been courses before where you hit it on the green, a perfect shot, and it's like going, all of a sudden it's gone off the green by like 40 yards. That's what it gets a little hokey. They should have a windmill with the clown's mouth.
Well, when they were in Chambers Bay, they claimed that.
Oh, Chambers Bay wasn't that bad.
No, they couldn't stop bitching about that course
yeah, but
nonstop.
that was fair to every. That was. It's not like people were 15 over par. and
So
stuff.
this is
You
what's
had
happened.
The
Well,
best golfers in the world couldn't even be anywhere near it, anywhere near the cut line.
You're talking about this tournament.
Yeah, this tournament.
They all knew it. They all practiced it. For once, these absolutely spoiled, rotten, silver spoon country club bitches finally didn't complain. I did not hear one player complain pre or post about the course. It's hard. It's the U.S. Open. Remember, after Chambers Bay, they went the other side. They all of a sudden, everyone's complaining because it's too easy and
Yep.
people are winning at 10 and 12 and 13 under par.
Yeah, the only thing I have a problem with is when you're barely off the fairway, you're like a foot off the fairway, and you're in
Good.
like 18 inches of rough,
No,
and they can't hit
see,
out
this
of it.
Is I'm glad you brought this to
Thank
light.
you.
You're a professional golfer. These are the best.
They can't even
golfers.
hit it out of the rough. They can't even hit it 5 feet out of there.
Hit it in the fairway.
They can't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. Is if they were a little bit farther, they're hitting hitting as hard as they can, and it's going 5 feet.
Why can't they hit it in the fairway?
Oh,
They're the greatest golfers in the world. All you have to do is hit it in the fairway.
I thought you meant hit it from the rough to the fairway.
No.
They couldn't even do that.
No, hit it in the fairway. JJ Spawn, Sam Burns, Garcia, the people that were McIntyre, the people that were hung on, they hit it in the fairway.
Well,
do they hit it 380? Maybe not.
No. That's why you saw a whole different group of people that actually made the cut and on the leaderboard.
But this is my bitch. It's like, I'm sorry, you're the greatest golfers of the world. You can't hit it in the freaking fairway?
No, because some of those greatest golfers in the world, the DeChambeaus, Scheffler actually made the cut, but he was close to not.
And he actually, I thought he was going to
make a run at it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to. But he couldn't putt. His problem, he couldn't make a putt to save his life.
He was 3-putting from like 4 feet.
Exactly.
But all these huge hitters were having a hard time because that advantage just got taken away from them there.
That's what I like. I like that it's hard. I don't have one problem. It's nice as a hack amateur golfer to see somebody have the pain and the suffering that I have.
Well, it's that way because you're just shitty. These guys are good and they can't hit it out of the rough.
Nothing made me happier than Tyrrell Hatton. He's in the rough, like deep shit above that bunker.
He was throwing his club.
And then he chucks it, and it goes right in back to the crap again on the other side of the bunker. I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you. That's what most of us deal with.
Well, by the way, Spawn looked like he was going to shoot like a 50 on the front nine.
I know.
He hit the flagpole, which that should have ended up about a foot from the cup.
So let me just understand where you're coming from. So you're against relatable?
No. Actually, on this particular U.S. Open, I really didn't have a problem with.
I thought you just said you had a problem.
No, I said no a couple times. I said this one wasn't so bad. It was fair compared to some courses where you hit it on the green and it might stay, it might not stay, depending on what mood the green's in. And it's not necessarily always fair to. It's got to be fair, and this I think was fair.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, because everybody.
Sometimes it gets so gimmicky.
All the pundits, all the players. I was shocked that I did not hear one player complain about the penalties.
Some of the scores were just crazy.
They're horrific.
Yeah,
horrific.
Well, the best golfers in the world should be able to at least shoot par on a course.
Yes.
If the course is making the best golfers in the world shoot 15 over, I think there's a little bit of an issue.
Also, it's a par 70, so that's a little bit. But yes, I agree. Now let's move on.
Yeah.
The two JJ Spawn, I met him, didn't know who the hell this guy was. No. I got to know him in the players. He went to a playoff with Rory McIlroy in the playoffs in the players.
Gotcha. Okay.
Earlier this year. McIlroy beat him. He finished second. That's the first time he's ever even won any money at all. Okay. And I'm like, who is this cat? And you kind of like, okay, this is kind of an every dude. He doesn't lift weights. He's not got 75 nutritionists. He's whatever. He's a Scottsdale
No, he looks
guy.
he looks like a guy that you'd see on your Muni course.
100%.
In fact, there's a story where some guy came up to him and he was in Scottsdale on a Muni course practicing his like pitching and stuff, and someone's like recognized him, like, what are you doing on this course? And he's like, it makes me feel normal or something.
I like to make sure I'm humble.
Yeah.
I kind of like I like this dude. Anyway, the JJ Spawn story is phenomenal, but we got to talk about Rory McIlroy, who had a horrible first 2 rounds. Are people bored at this point because of too much golf talk?
No, we'll just finish. We'll wrap it up with
Rory has given his last absolute F-bomb. He is done. He won the Masters and he is over it. Did you see all of his press conferences?
I started to watch it, but the thing you sent me was like 33 minutes long or something. It's like, I don't got till tomorrow.
Right. I'm sorry. If I send Tim an article that's more than like one thumb
it was
scroll
a video.
it
was a video, and it's like I didn't think I was staying up till 2 in the morning.
Oh my God, you're ridiculous. Rory McIlroy, how do you like the course, whatever? What are you thinking about tomorrow? This is before the last round. He goes, just hoping I get 4.5 rounds and get out of here.
4.5.
Yeah, he goes, I just want to get under 4.5 and get out of here.
Under 4.5
The
hours.
round. I just want the round to go under 4.5 and get
Yeah.
out of here. He's done, dude. He could give his last shit. He's over it. He doesn't care. He's gone. It's done.
You mean what do you mean? Like
He doesn't care if he plays, if he doesn't play, if he wins, he
you mean
doesn't
because he's
win.
won the Grand Slam now
Yes.
you think he's done?
100%. He's over it.
Really?
Oh, 1,000%. He couldn't wait to get. He said he was conflicted on the Friday. He was actually like trying not to make the cut because he could go home.
Well, that's because he probably knew he wasn't going to win. He probably thought, I don't have a shot in hell. I'm on the cut line. He was right on the cut line.
He's over
He's like
it.
15 strokes back from the leader. You think he's over it for good?
I don't know if he's over it for good, but I just think he just could give two shits. I think he's a competitor, and I think once again, he actually played really well.
But if he's a competitor, you'd think he'd want to get back out.
Well,
and-
his fourth round, he actually played really well.
he
on
did.
his fourth round.
Shot
He
like
has-
3 under.
Yeah, 67 or something. And then there's Wyndham Clark.
Oh yeah, he
had a little. He needs a timeout. Okay.
What the hell happened to him?
He didn't play well, and he went and he basically ripped up the clubhouse. He torched the lockers. He actually broke all the lockers, had a full-on meltdown temper tantrum at the country club.
I saw some of the after pictures, and
Yeah.
it looked like there was 2 lockers broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
No,
he
they
had-
should. I mean, there should be some repercussions for that. Obviously.
Oh yeah, and he apologized to Oakmont. He apologized, whatever. You know what, Wyndham? Shut up. We empathized you because you lost your mother. You were on full swing. You kind of brought it. You have the psychologist. You won didn't he win the U.S. Open or the
I think he
PGA
did.
Championship
Yeah, one
or
of
whatever?
those, yeah.
You brought us in, and now you're just a little punk.
Well,
and you know
keep in
what? I
mind-
don't like you now.
He lost his mother, and I, empathize with him for that. But he was also born a silver spoon, big time.
All of them,
Yeah,
most of them are.
yeah.
Most of them are.
Maybe not JJ Spawn.
You know.
He was like broke before this.
Funny. Yeah. So Wyndham, not a good look.
No.
You still made $8 trillion. You're going to be in your little private jet. Things are going to be fine, Wyndham. You're going to live.
He made the cut, right?
He made the cut. Then
Yeah.
he hits it. He has a full on. I'm done with you right now. Okay. I'm done.
All right. We're done with golf.
What a chump. All right. Are we going to move on to something else?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the National Football League. Dun, 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 dun.
There's nothing going on there.
Finally, after what felt like years, your boy Aaron Rodgers finally lands at the Steelers.
No one saw that coming. Why did it take so long? I mean, it was like months and months in the making.
And what is going on with I don't understand this move. Like I don't. I've talked to our Steelers contributor, Rob Milliken. He's hopeful because he's a Steeler fan that Rodgers can still
I think
play.
I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
No way.
Yes.
You're out of your goddamn mind.
Rodgers has still got some. He's still got some gas.
You
in
know
the
what
tank.
he has a gas for? A 3-yard pass that hopefully goes
What
for
are you
40.
talking about? What are you talking? The
He
guy's got
likes-
a gun.
He's chunking it down in this. He doesn't want to really move anymore because he has no leg left.
Okay. I think he's better. I think you're not
No.
giving him enough
I
credit.
think he's going to be
No, I don't
terrible.
like him. I can't. I think he's.
I think I am not hopeful for the Steelers. Seattle plays the Steelers, by the way.
I wonder. Interesting. That's probably because they thought
Uh-huh.
Russell Wilson was still going to be on the
Uh-huh.
roster.
I think I have that up.
The
here.
NFL does a really good job of setting teams up that there's going to be drama.
September 14th, Seahawks
That's
at
got to be like the first game of the season.
the Steelers, 10 a.m. start on a Sunday.
We might have to have our first little party.
Yeah.
that morning.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to do good. First of all, he's absolute poison in a locker room. He's poison to a team, and I root against him.
Well, I agree with all that.
Getting on to your Seattle Seahawks. Cooper Cup, very excited about Mannequin Mike.
Well, you know me, and you know how I feel about Cooper Cup.
Do you think? And everybody's like, he's in the best shape of his life. He's recovered fully. He loves Mike McDonald. He's all in. Him and Small Hand Darnolds are hanging out together. They're like, having dinner. And of course, Small Hand can't hold the plate because he's got 2 small hands. So Cooper Cup's helping him.
So what's your question?
I mean, it's like, hey, can you come over and barbecue? Yeah, but can you bring the small tongs?
Give me the small spatula.
Can I have the small tongs? So
Funny.
do you think Cooper Cup?
Oh, I think he's going to be an impact player.
Okay.
I do. Do you?
And I'm hopeful he stays healthy.
Oh, that's really going out on a limb.
You're welcome. And the other big question is, do we have a quarterback controversy?
With Jalen Milroe
Yes.
and Small Hands.
Oh, all the pub coming out. He's fire at OTAs.
I could see Jalen Milroe starting before the end of the year.
No freaking way.
What do you mean, no way? You're the one that's always ranking on Small Hands Darnold.
Well, he's got small hands.
Yeah. So, which is it? I mean, you think he's the greatest quarterback
No,
ever?
I don't. I didn't want him, actually. You know what? I might have $1 bill in my. We have to bet on this.
Okay.
This is a classic bet.
First of all, you don't have $1.
I do.
Let me see.
I got 2 20s.
I'm going to tell Aaron that you got a bunch of cash in your wallet. That's not going to go well.
I'm throwing down.
She's going to call. Oh, you do have actual dollar.
We're on the YouTube on STSPN.
Are we allowed to show this on?
Yeah,
YouTube?
we show money. I will bet you. So you're bet. This is exactly basically Jason Puckett and Jim Moore have this bet all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you think that Jalen Milroe? Now you can't talk injury. This can't because of injury.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's going to get in, not because of injury.
He is going to start.
Yes.
I want to make
before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year,
Yeah.
basically, he's going to beat out Small Hands Darnold.
Beat him out. Small Hands Darnold's going to have like 4 interceptions one game, and they're going to throw in Milroe.
You know what? I can't wait to lose this dollar because I hope you're right.
Thank you. You just hold on to it right now. I don't want to
Okay. You're usually the bank.
Well, I don't want to be responsible for that kind of money.
Where's the wedge?
And have to get Loomis here.
Okay, well that's your Seahawks update, and that's and nothing else is really going on. Did you get caught up?
We got one thing.
What?
Your boy Shedeur Sanders getting a ticket for.
Did you get caught up in the schedule reveal? I did.
Not really.
I looked at the Seahawks schedule. There's nothing really that I'm.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, the Raiders. We play them in preseason.
Oh,
that's going to be fun just because of the Pete Carroll thing.
True. They're not playing them in the regular season.
I don't know
because that would be a total NFL thing to do.
Yeah, that would be. That'd be
There's
smart.
Seahawks
actually.
right there. Click on Seahawks Commanders.
What do you mean?
Just click on the Seahawks.
I know. I got the entire Seahawks schedule right here.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know that they play. I don't see them playing.
Okay.
Them, but I could be wrong. Anyway, yes, Shedeur Sanders. God, Cleveland. The Browns just keep on browsing.
They do.
He's gotten pulled over twice.
Oh, has he gotten twice?
That's what I just read today. He's gotten pulled over twice, 120 and a 60 or something.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Is the guy not learned a little bit of a lesson to be a little bit humble? What are you doing?
Is he gonna?
And he's driving like a $250,000 car. When you're going 5 over, they nail you. When you're driving something like that, you got to be super careful.
Is he gonna make the team?
I think he'll make the team.
They got like 17 quarterbacks.
They do.
Okay. Is that all you wanted to say about that?
Yeah, because I didn't read the whole article on what happened.
Of course not. You're not. Your
I didn't want
ability to read is only.
I didn't want to do clickbait stuff.
Okay. I need a beer, so we're taking a break.
Hey, you still listening? Because we're back.
That's for you, producer Mark.
Oh. We're back on.
We're back on, and because we need to talk Major League Baseball, your Seattle Mariners, which I have not seen a game.
Well, and I'm a little mad about that.
Why?
I told you I was pissed off because I don't want to be in misery by myself.
Why not? You look good on it.
And you have all historically have been one watching the Mariners more than me.
I know.
Until like last
You know
year.
what? My mental health is like 1,000 times better
Yeah,
because I'm not
You
watching
seem like
them.
you got a pep in your step
Do I?
this year.
Yeah, I know. I feel a little. I
You
got
and
energy.
you and Big Al were always the one on the Mariner bandwagon. This is the year.
God, and I watched every night, and the roller coaster.
Oh, it's just, and like, obviously to quote Brock Hewart again for the second
Oh
time.
wow,
He's like calling them there, and he nailed it. He's like, they are the biggest Jekyll and Hyde team ever.
Always.
Because that's like one night they're winning 8-0, and then the next night they're losing 8-0. It's just every night it's like either scoring a bunch of runs or they get nothing. And by the way, I want to go back to the podcast we did like 3 years ago when we signed Julio, and you were making fun. You were making so much fun of me
and I still will
for being so lukewarm on it. And I'm telling you, that guy, love Julio. I love his enthusiasm, but he is the most unclutch baseball player in the history of baseball. I've never seen anybody get up to bat so many times with like so many runners on and clutch situations, 2 outs. It's, you're down by 2, but you got, bases loaded. He fails to deliver 99% of the time.
That I agree with.
Thank you. At least you agree with that. And that's been going on for like 3 years.
Well, he's only been in the league 3 years.
4. I think this is his 4th year.
Is it really?
I think so. Maybe.
No,
it's his
I
third.
agree.
Don't know.
You do not, in a pressure situation, 2 on, 1 out, he is not the guy. That's why we need to move him in the lineup.
Agree. And JP Crawford, I just found out his lifetime batting average with the bases loaded is like 523.
Yeah,
that is insane.
You're gonna have hot and cold. He was lukewarm in the beginning, then he went in a big bad streak, and now he's good.
JP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's batting well.
But how about Cal Riley this year?
Raleigh?
Yes.
Cal Raleigh?
I like to call him Riley.
I know you do. And I'm fine with that. He is leading the major leagues as we record this podcast in home runs.
That
at
is
27.
28, isn't it?
I just looked.
27. Oh, is it 27? Okay. But he's leading all of major leagues.
All of major league.
That is
baseball.
insane.
Bigger than
for
Aaron,
a catcher.
Judge.
A catcher's beating out Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani.
And he's second right now in All-Star voting.
Yeah.
Which is
only
big for
only to Aaron Judge.
Yeah, only to Judge, but that's a major issue because up in Seattle here, we're like nobody cares about us. We're up in the corner, no one gives a crap.
And he's only, I think he's 3 RBIs off the lead in the major leagues for RBIs. I mean, that for a catcher to be doing that is just, I don't even have words for it.
My issue with the Julio signing, okay.
You didn't have an issue. You were completely, you were loving, you loved it.
I did
you
love
loved
it. I loved it.
And you were making fun of me for not loving it.
Well, that's fun.
Until now when I'm getting the last
No,
laugh.
you're not getting the last laugh.
Well, how many years does he have to be a complete failure and the most unclutched
He's not
player?
a failure. He's unclutched. He's not a failure.
Dude, he was supposed to be a home run hitter. He's had 75 home runs in the home run derby, and he's got 10 on the year.
If you want to break down league statistics, he's actually not as horrible as you think. I agree.
They didn't hire him to be not horrible.
He is.
They didn't sign him to $275 million to be not horrible.
If I could turn back time.
If you could turn back time, you wouldn't make fun of me for.
No, I would still make fun of you, of course, but I would change the deal. What I liked about that, it was very un-Mariner-esque because they actually were aggressive. They were actually made a stand. They actually put money, big money committed down, which is extraordinarily rare for them.
Oh, it was rare.
So I like that. Now, in retrospect, if I could turn back time, shout out Cher, I would go back and I would structure the deal a little differently because I do, and Bill Kruger, who's on the Puck Sports, he's like, I'm just not seeing him get better. And that is my concern with Julio.
Yeah, he's not.
He's very good in the field. He's very good. His hustle, his attitude, all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, he does, and he's good stolen bases.
Yes.
And, yeah.
He's not, his average is not.
He's at
terrible.
250.
Which is
it's acceptable.
Well, the number one team in the league, their team average is 264. So just pipe down there.
It was 274.
Just turn it down.
Isn't the Astros have like the number
You
one?
need to just simmer down, Sparky.
Yeah, but you're paid. Julio Rodriguez was paid to be an he was
Down
paid
by the
all-star
schoolyard.
money, big money, not to bat 252 with 5 RBIs.
He's got intangibles. He's got
Untangibles or
unbelievable-
intangibles?
Intangibles, untangibles. I'm on my
I
third
think
and
you're
three
right.
and a half
I think
beer.
he does have untangibles, is what he has.
He's got all the tools. Okay. I want him to be good because he should be good. I don't like the structure of the deal now. I think it went to his head because he was so young, because he was like
Well, that
5
was
years
my
old.
whole thing when they signed him. I'm thinking that's a lot of money for a guy that really hasn't shown you that
That's
much.
true.
You know, that's why I was,
They made a bet.
you know, that's why, and you made fun of me because I was lukewarm on it.
I did make fun of you. I don't feel bad about that. And I'm
You
not
and
retracting
Big
that.
Al were both like, you
I
know,
love Julio. He should pan out. It's too early.
okay, how many years has to go by?
8.
Oh, okay. So there'll be 2 years left on his contract that, you know.
Hey, I want to focus you on your Seattle Mariners, who
Okay.
were league leading, were kicking ass. Polanco was hitting out of his mind.
Polanco was hitting 400. We were like 6 games and, you know, ahead of everybody in first
And
place.
I was just about to pull the trigger and pay the money to watch them. And
Yeah.
then they turned back into who they are.
You should be thankful for that, though,
I am.
because you
Wait,
were,
thankful for what?
that they turned back, so you didn't pay the money.
I am.
Yeah,
I am. Their run differential got down to like -20. Now it's back to +2,
Yeah.
barely.
the last time we had a podcast, they were a half a game out of first place, but they had been in first place for a while.
Now they're 5.5.
Now they're
back.
5.5 back.
And guess who's number one?
And that's who we were talking about on the last pod, that the Astros were going to overtake them.
Unbelievable. What a shitty division, number one. Number two, our pitching now is not as stellar as it was. Brian Woo, shout out you, P. Dougie. He sent pictures of he's friends with the Woo family. Apparently, you can get him on the pod.
Well, we need to do that.
That and Pete the Appraiser. But anyway, Woo's our number one starter now. Logan's back. Their pitching could get better, but they're hit and miss on hitting. They're 20th in the league in batting average. They're just, again, they're back to middle of the road.
It's back to the same Mariners we see every single
Yes.
year. Is what they have all these moments of brilliance, and then you can set your watch by it that they're going to take a dive.
Then they bring up the phenom Cole Young. He gets a
Walk-off
base hit in the first major league. But they're doing, and this is probably a baseball problem, not a Seattle Mariner. Good Lord, they don't put him in against left-handers. Oh, he's hitting the ball. He's tearing it off. He is doing great. He went freaking 3 for 4 the other night, and he's not playing the next day.
Yeah, I know.
Because he can't face a left-hander. I'm so tired of this.
That's that needs to go away. If you're a good major league hitter, it shouldn't matter. You should be batting in the lineup, whether it's a lefty or a right.
I agree. And because we're an Arizona podcast,
What are they doing?
The Diamondbacks are back to 500. They had a little streak there. They're still, the problem with them is their division is just brutal. They're 8.5 games back because you got the Dodgers and now
the Padres.
And the Giants just made the big deal for Boston for Devers. So they got Suris. I mean, they got problems.
They're basically the same as the Mariners, though.
Pretty much.
I think we're 1 game difference or something. But they swept the Mariners.
They did. They did sweep the Mariners. Correct. Yeah. We just won against Boston. Well, no, we lost 2 out of 3 against Boston.
We've been
beat
losing
Cleveland
every series, it seems like.
Yeah, we've been in a rough patch. So I still am. My protests hold strong.
Which one?
The Mariners. I still have not seen a complete game.
Oh, I haven't either.
You're watching them all the time.
But I don't watch the whole game.
You text me all the time.
But I don't watch the whole game. I'll watch bits and pieces.
Plus, it's too late. I go to bed early.
I do too. I'm with you there.
All right, we got to go.
All right, let's go to bonus material.
Take a quick break. We'll be back with bonus right after this.
Hello, this is Timothy B. Boyle, and you're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show, and I apologize.
Bonus time, bonus time, bonus. Or is this more like what you watch?
I got one of those. I got two of those.
What's your
actually.
bonus? You got more like Deadly Snake shit or what?
Besides, I got to go back to one other thing on their tipping thing. There's one like other tidbit. So I'm in Hawaii. Did I mention that I went to Hawaii?
No, not at all.
Thanks
And
for asking about it.
You're welcome.
We went to a couple, we went to
That
the
joke's not getting old.
I know. We went to the Monkey Pod, like I said before.
Have you mentioned that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a couple.
Lilikoi? A
The
little
Lilikoi foam on the Mai Tais.
Okay, go ahead.
But all these restaurants in Hawaii, first of all, they overcharge you for everything.
Of course, it's
Mai Tais are like $24 for
Tim,
one Mai Tai.
Look at a map. It's 2,000 miles from anywhere.
You know, it's the most isolated place on the planet.
Yes.
Isn't
That's
that
why milk is $30.
Yeah. So anyway, but my point is, you get the bill, and then they add this 4% kitchen charge on all these. So it's basically you're having to tip on top of your tip.
What's
because
the kitchen charge?
I don't know. They want to give money to the kitchen staff, but they don't want to take it out of it. Normally, that the servers used to have to tip out.
Yeah, you pool the money.
Well, they don't pool it all, but they have to tip out like to the kitchen, and then tip out to the. The waiters and waitresses still get the majority of that chunk, but they still have to tip out to the bus boys and the kitchen staff. Well, now they're just adding it onto your bill. Everywhere you go, there's a 4% kitchen charge, and that's bullshit. I got to tell you, it's just them being able to not raise their prices and just extract a little more money out of you at the end. They don't tell you anywhere on the menu that there's going to be a 4% kitchen charge anywhere.
I love the creative charges.
But don't you think that's total BS?
I mean, just
it's not. And a 4%, that's that's not nothing.
No, but what? Roll it all up. It's perception. It's the marketing problem, right?
Yeah.
Don't sit and tell me the kitchen charge. Just add it 4% to the flipping price.
If you need to pay your kitchen people 4% more, then charge 4% more on your bill.
I already know I'm going to Hawaii. It's ridiculous.
And it's not up to us to pay the kitchen staff.
No,
that's up to you.
That's
with
a fixed
That's
cost.
a cost that you have to figure into your order, your menu.
Was it any good? Could I basically get, you know what, the kitchen cost? I feel like it's 2%. Can you negotiate?
That's a good question. I didn't have the energy to negotiate with them.
After
I just
4 Mai Tai.
But I think I'm like everybody else. I just pay it,
I know.
But it's stupid.
Okay, I agree. I mean, it's not wedding dress tipping quite.
No,
but it's
not the 15% wedding dress.
I might not ever get over that. Okay, what's your bonus?
Oh, so what you watching?
Yeah.
Department Q. Have you seen that?
I've heard
Oh
about
my
this.
God, it was so good.
Okay.
Netflix, takes place in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Oh, I love the Scots.
Oh yeah, I love the accents. But it's basically a detective movie. I think that's where the detective started in Scotland. Scotland Yard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a detective show and it's super good.
Wait,
So
is this where the guy gets sent down to the basement?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're in that. Yep, we're in that.
You're starting to watch it?
We've watched
You didn't even-
several.
How do you not know that that's the show?
I know that's the show because we were on it and then we went deep into it and then I fell asleep and then Erin kept going. I can't remember if she's done or not done with it.
It's so good.
It is good. It's
Yeah.
well done. It's very interesting.
And then there's one more. This I think our listeners will appreciate this, but this is a documentary on the Ocean Gate, the Titan that went down to the Titanic. They went down, but you don't remember?
I don't.
You know the submarine that went down and blew up, and they couldn't. There was a 4-day national.
Maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
Well, the Ocean Gate, that was all made like in the Everett Marina here.
Oh, I remember that. The one guy went down.
Well, they went down with like
Was
they
it
took
4
a couple
people?
billionaires and
Yeah, I do remember
and
that.
it blew and it imploded.
Yeah.
Documentary on that. It's absolutely
I thought that was like
fantastic.
the stubbornness of the.
It was.
Yeah.
They go through the whole thing about this guy. If he didn't implode on the thing, that he should be in jail for like 7 lifetimes.
Right. That's
He
what-
ignored every safety
yeah.
protocol imaginable. But they show the Everett Marine a whole bunch. Mindy and I walk around down there all the time, so they
Yeah.
show. But yeah, that's where they built a lot of it, and it was experimental because it was built out of like carbon fiber instead of like titanium. And every time they do a test dive, you could hear the carbon fibers breaking, and everybody's telling him. All his engineers are saying, this is not good. You can't do this. It's like, oh no, that's just the carbon fibers waking up as they're breaking. It's like
waking up.
yeah.
It's an inanimate object.
Yeah, that's what he kept saying. Oh, that's just them waking up. And sure enough, every time he took it on a test dive, it was stressing it more and more and more. And then, of course, he takes it down to the Titanic and doesn't come back. The Titanic's still claiming lives after all these
It's
years.
riveting.
But I highly recommend it.
Um,
Thank you for following along, though.
I barely.
You didn't even know you were watching Department Q, so you don't really have a leg.
What
to
do you
stand
mean?
up.
I pulled
You
that
don't
out.
even. No, you're like, oh, is that this one? You don't even know you're watching it.
Did I nail it?
No.
Yeah, I did. I said it's the one where the
Well,
guy goes down.
You don't know. You were questioning it. Like, is it or not?
Moving on.
What do you got?
Well,
Why don't you bring something to the table?
I'm trying.
Well, you're 4 beers in. That's your problem.
Yeah. Well, 3 and.
So it's a very rare moment where you're beating me on the.
What
beers.
is wrong with you?
I think it's because I drank too much and wherever I just went, and I'm not going to mention it.
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Don't mention it. How was the trip? Okay, so I got through the White Lotus. You've already been through White Lotus. Interesting.
What'd you
Okay.
think? What'd you think?
I like this.
Did you start? Did you go to season 1?
Of course I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I directed you to do on
Yeah.
something else. And then Netflix, I think it's Netflix, Sirens came out.
Okay,
Sirens.
yes.
Okay, it's
We
kind of White Lotus adjacent, so to speak. It's in the same realm.
Yeah, we watched like the first episode and we weren't sure. So you're saying it's a must?
I don't know what is happening over here.
So what do you tell me? Is it like is a must
It's
watch?
great. It's entertaining. It's a wild ride. It's got Julianne Moore. It's got
Who else is it?
it's got the gal who was in season 2 of White
Cindy-
Lotus.
Cindy Sweeney?
No, it's
She was in
Megan something. Megan something.
Oh, the dark-haired gal?
She I think in White Lotus she was season 2. She was the girl wife of one of the rich dudes. She kind of
Yeah.
had more ginger hair, more reddish
there was
hair.
okay. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
she's in this one. She's tremendous, totally different character. It's fun. It's great. Kevin Bacon comes in.
I like Kevin Bacon.
He comes in.
I think in the episode we watched, he
No,
hadn't even come in.
He hadn't come. He doesn't come in for 3 or 4.
Okay, I'll go back and
It's
start
a
watching.
wild, fun ride.
All right. Are you done with it?
Yes.
You're so upset right now. It's
Well,
like,
I don't know. I'm
Are you-
off kilter here
I
at
think
the
you're-
Boyle Theater. I don't know what's going on. We were tipping for wedding dresses. We're not seeing it through on Sirens.
I think you're manstrating.
The other show that's again in the British realm. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a British show. We watch a lot of British shows. We read our TV. Is Patience.
I have not seen that.
Absolutely
Netflix?
fabulous. I don't know.
Yeah.
Acorn, BritBox, something like that. Part of the Prime thing.
Okay.
Patience.
And what's it about?
Do you need to know?
Well, it usually helps if if it's
It's about
if it's about like gardening or something, I'm probably not going to watch
No,
it.
it's right up your thing. It's a police detective. It's a murder mystery.
Okay, I like that.
There's
stuff.
a kid. She has autism, and of course, she's like smarter than hell, and she sees all this stuff, and she works with the police department. It's just really well done.
You know what's funny about you?
What's funny about me?
I've noticed this a long
Everything?
time ago, but I gotta fill the listeners in. When you get about 4 beers in, you get super feisty, and you
Do
don't.
I?
Yeah, when you're like sober,
You're
like,
coming at me.
no, I'm not. When you're sober, You're like everybody, you love everybody. Don't say anything bad about anybody. Everybody's a winner. You get about 4 beers in you, and you're like all of a sudden like Mr. Smarty Pants.
Well,
and,
Wyndham
like,
Clark. Wyndham Clark's
You're
dead to me.
You're pissed about that.
What am I pissed about?
The Wyndham Clark thing.
You came at me on sirens.
And the tipping thing. It's just out
What
of
do you mean I'm feisty about it? I mean, it's you.
No, you're feisty about everything.
I'm joining your side.
I know. I like it. I'm not
God.
complaining.
Well, for once, I agree
It's
with
like
you, and now I
it's
gotta
like you
hear
go
about
from,
it.
It's like you go from being a liberal to a conservative after about 4 beers. I like it.
Seriously, I don't know what's wrong with you.
After about 4 beers, you'll start making fun of people.
Yeah, yeah,
and
well,
before
yeah.
that, it's like, oh no, you
When
can't
you
make
don't
fun
have
of
4.5 to 20 beers in you, okay, you had all the wins tonight. No more transfer portal. College football's back. College sports are back. You had all the wins tonight.
them. What's your point?
You should be happy as
I
hell.
am. I'm ecstatic.
You should be
I am
thrilled.
What? Why don't you think I'm happy? What are you
Cal
talking about?
Raleigh is
Cal
doing
Riley?
well. Riley. All right.
I don't know if I have any more. I don't know if I have any more shows.
No more bonus? I gotta go. Like, there's a couple shows that I've not, like, there's some older stuff that I've not caught up on. And you know what? I'm trying new stuff all the time. That's my problem. I'm trying Sticks, the Sticks thing, Owen Wilson.
Oh, is that on?
That's on. I've dug
That's
into
good
that.
because I canceled Apple finally, but I have it till the 13th of July or something. I got it for like another month.
Is it coming back?
What do you mean?
Is it gonna come back?
No, I'm not.
Why?
There's not enough good stuff on
Yes,
that.
there
No,
is. What are
there's
you
not.
talking
There's
about?
not. There's
Do you want me to
crap.
list the good things?
No, because there isn't anything to list.
Ted Lasso, that's
Well,
terrible.
but that's good.
Okay,
But
Friends.
Ted, that's over.
Friends. No, they're coming back another
Well,
season.
but it's not-
Friends and Neighbors. You watching that with John Hamm?
we stopped. We stopped.
I'm persevering.
It wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I
it
agree.
was okay.
I agree with you.
So Mindy and I are like, it's not that good. We're gonna stop.
I'm with you.
We went to Department Q.
Is
which
this Siskel and Ebert all the way?
2 snaps up in a circle?
What is happening here? I'm not feisty. I think I'm more fun-loving when I've had a couple beverages.
I'm not complaining about it, but
Yes,
you
you
are
are.
definitely
You
a
are
little. You
complaining.
definitely get a little feisty.
You are complaining.
I'm not,
For the
again,
record.
No, for the record, I'm not. But that's okay. See,
Oh,
you're
by the way,
feisty about
hold
that.
on. I have my iPad. Do I get a tip for this show?
Yeah. We just need,
15%?
it just needs to ask you one question.
You know what? Because I forgot the cord, I'll take 10%. Okay. That's going to do it. We want to thank all the guests we didn't get, all the sponsors we never signed.
And if you listen to this whole thing, we apologize.
I hope not. Have a great night. Goodbye.